Hello and welcome to another Denis Wick Products interview where I get to know Matthew Hartnett. So welcome, Matthew, to this interview.
Hey, Brett, what's going on?
It's great to see you and to learn a little bit more about your personal situation in terms of as a musician and as a player and a performer. So the first thing I should check is whereabouts do you live and why do you live there?
I live in Houston currently, Houston, Texas. I moved from New York back to Houston to raise my son, basically. That's the why.
That's the why. Do you know what? I was so impressed with Houston. I thought it was a beautiful city. I expected it to just be lots of sunshine, and that was it, and brick buildings. There was nothing like. So I really like Houston. Great place. So in terms of your playing, what inspired you to choose the instrument you play and to remain with it? Was there a reason? Was there some inspiration behind that, or did it just happen?
It's a kind of it just happened thing. I love telling this story. So in sixth grade down here in Houston is when you get to be a part of band in school. So that's when, I came into band. In fifth grade, me and my best friend, who was named Christine Wynn, shout out to Christine, we were like, we're going to play clarinet. It was like, oh, yeah, we're going to play clarinet. Fifth grade. This is the fifth grade me talking. And so I'm like, yeah, this is going to be great. Play clarinet. Get into band class, school year starts. They do the whole, testing to see, like, what would be a good fit for you beginning the school year. Then went through all the instruments and stuff, but I was like, nope, I want to play clarinet. So cool. They was like, all right, great. Sign up for clarinet. Give your mom the paperwork for it and all that stuff. Go to class the first day. And now we're walking to class, and I'm in the line with my homeboys, and they're in the back of the line, goofing off. And we walking into class, and so, they're like, hey, clarinet, sit over here. Low brass, sit over here. And I was like, cool. I'm like, I'm going to sit down first because I want to pick the good seat for my friends to sit around me. Like, I'm going to be the leader. Like, they're going to just sit around me. I didn't care where they was going at first because, like, they're going to see me and they're going to come sit by me. So I went and sat on the clarinet side of the class, and I watched friend after friend go to the other side of the classroom. Now, when we're basically about to start class, and I'm looking around, and there's nothing but girls around me. Nothing but girls. And all of my homies are on the other side of the classroom. Like, it's like all the boys are over here, all the girls are over here. And I was like looking around, like, what's going on? And so I kind of like do my hand like this, like on the low. So my the teacher, Mr. Timpany, he looks at me and he goes, "You want to switch?" And I was like, and he just was like, "Come on." I had no idea what instrument they were playing. I didn't. All I knew is that I was not going to be in class with a class full of girls all year, and my boys was going to be over here. I was like, "No, I'm gonna just go with them." And that was the trombone class actually. So you know they brought the mouthpieces out, and he showed me how to the buzz. And Tim Timpton is a great teacher, like one of the greatest trombone players. And when I was a kid, especially, he was like trombone god to me. I was like, oh my god, this dude was playing Flight of the Bumblebee on the trombone. Oh my god. And so like I just I don't know, I got hooked. And I was the best and stayed the best. And then kind of just took pride at just being the best. Like that drove me all the way through high school. I didn't want anyone to be better than me. And
Yeah.
so like I was one of those kids that was kind of good at everything growing up. Like good if I played football, I'm football player. I was in student council, all that stuff. I was always very competitive, and I liked everything that I did. I was always among the best. But when I got to trombone, I was the best. So it was just a little different feeling to sit at number one. And, I was always somewhere in the 1 through 5 range, but never at one. So that pretty much drove me all the way through high school. I was obsessed with it. Turned in my practice records when I was like sixth, seventh, eighth grade. They would have like ridiculous hours logged, and you know, my head band director, Nathan Monk, would be like, are you really practicing? Like, he called my mom, and she was like, yeah, he really does spend 2, 3 hours on that thing, like at home, like not going outside, just yeah. And so, I put a lot of work in really, really early on the instrument. Um, that carried me for a really long time.
And you never had the sort of attraction to say, "Oh, I'll go and try bass trombone" or anything like that. It's always been tenor.
Yeah, it wasn't. There wasn't any but bass trombone around when I was coming up. And when I was in fifth grade, I did have a trumpet laying around my house randomly, and so I did play the trumpet. I just played whatever I could hear, and this was before band started. So when I would play trombone and I practice it and stuff like that, especially when I got to middle school, was wanting to learn everything I did on trombone. I would want to learn it on trumpet too. So like we were playing like Little Mermaid Under the Sea, and I was like, oh, I remember the trumpet part, and it's like dun, dun. So I would play the trumpet part and pick up my trombone and try to play that. So I did that for like about 2 years, and so, but it wasn't like oh, I want to play trumpet in school. It wasn't like that. I didn't even think anything special of it. It was just me having a good time doing what I wanted to do in my spare time.
Yeah.
And so, because I knew the vowel system and everything like that, I could play the tuba, I could play the euphonium, but not like competitively, just for, shits and giggles, as they say.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, well, great. And so, was there something that you feel stands out when you were on that journey in terms of improving as a player? Was it just being better than the people that you were next to, or were there some recordings you listened to and you thought, "Oh yeah, I want to get as good as that"?
Well, when I was a kid, like all the way through, even well up to high school, from like sixth grade to eighth grade, I had Tim Timpani in front of me, who was, like I said, the trombone guy. Like he said, "Hey guys, this is the trombone," and he started playing Flight of the Bumblebee, and I was like, we were just like jaw on the floor, and we watched him do it like year in and year out, like with other kids. The eighth grade me, who was like region band, like first chair, the man. So even that me was looking like how to, because I could I could do the first part, the that part, I could do that. But the rest, I was like, what in the world? So I always had him in my mind as like a mark. And so, and it was almost an impossible mark too, this guy was like world ranked at one point in time. So, when I was in high school, what I knew the instrument could actually do was far beyond anything that was around me. So, I always reached and played like the hardest things I could possibly play. So like in ninth grade, for like solo ensemble, there's this one piece by man, is it Rimsky
Hmm.
or Romanowski?
Rimsky-Korsakov, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a piece that he has for trombone. I did that for like ninth grade solo ensemble, and then 10th grade, I did Bluebells of Scotland. And then 11th grade, like it was, I just was like choosing like the most difficult things. And then I came across a recording of Christian Lindbergh. And so I heard him playing some pieces. And that CD actually became my guide as to every song that I would attempt to play for like every competition, like audition, and even in college. So when I got to college, I was a classical guy, and I played in like a jazz band in college. I mean, in high school, but it wasn't. I wasn't really introduced to the music. It was just like, hey, this is a jazz band. Just playing music like I'll do anything else. And so I really didn't get introduced to jazz until I got to college. And when I met jazz music, I was like, Yo, I really thought that this classical stuff was like everything, but this is the upper echelon of all music. I was like, this is where it's at because it kicked my ass. I was like, what? Man, for the first time, I was like, I suck on my instrument.
Really?
I was like, I suck. This is terrible. I had a good ear, and but once I met jazz at Texas Southern University, I was hooked. I did my recitals freshman and sophomore year in college instead of junior and senior year, and after that, I switched. I was like, yeah, no more marching band, no more classical, nothing. Like I'm just gonna learn this jazz thing, and that's what I went into.
Oh, that's fantastic. Thank you very much, Matt, for taking the time out to share that with us. And I hope it's not too long before we get to meet up again and have a chat.
Yeah, man, absolutely, absolutely, it was fun.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Brett.